Alright, this next video recording will cover the Finder within the Mac environment. So on the PC side of things, this might be called the Explorer. So in order, actually before I get into too much detail, this video tutorial will be a little bit shorter than the rest, only because within Blackboard I've posted Apple Quick Tips. There's probably about 3 or 4 of them there that deal specifically with the Finder. So I'm going to just cover this briefly. So first thing I want to do is create a new Finder window. I've got several ways to do that. So if I click on the desktop here, Finder is the default shown on the drop down next to the Apple menu. So from Finder, under File, I have New Finder Window. You'll note that there's a shortcut for that, which is Command N. So I could click on this to access it, close that, or do Command N and also open up a new Finder window. Now lastly, if I wanted to, this is how some folks do it on the PC side of things. They always double click on My Computer. So to do that, you could click on the hard drive icon there and it would open up the Finder window as well. So there's no real right way to do it, but whatever way works for you is the right way. So I'm going to go ahead and do the shortcut, which is Command N one more time, and that opens up the new Finder window. So by default, right now the view is in list view, but just as easily I could change that to thumbnail view here, go back to list view, switch over to column view, or lastly kick over to cover flow. So cover flow is unique, very unique actually. Let me actually go to my downloads folder so you can see that in action. Now in my downloads folder I have a lot of different types of content. The first one is a PDF file, so I could actually click on each of these individually using the normal view, and I would have to actually open them up to see what they are. Or I could go to cover flow and just scroll through all of the icons there. So if you're used to using iTunes and cover flow within iTunes, you'll be very familiar with this interface. Now once I find the one I want, let's say that flash drive bit is the one I want, then I simply double click on it, or within this same view, cover flow, I can actually click next, 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 so I can partially navigate this document from here as well. Now another cool little trick here is that, let's say in any view, so I'll go back to list view just for a second, you can hit the spacebar, and hitting the spacebar will give you this quick look view, and that quick look view essentially lets you scroll through the entire document. This comes in very handy when you're using a PDF, PowerPoint, Word document, anything that's a multi-page document. On the PC side of things, this is horrible, by the way, because on a PC I would have to double click to open up the same document. So I'd have to wait for Adobe Acrobat to load, and that's not always instant. That sometimes takes a few seconds. So I'd have to wait for every single file type, and that's not exactly convenient. So on the Mac, you can just hit the space bar for any item that you want to preview, and that will preview it using this quick look view. It's kind of convenient. Alright, now I should note on the Mac side of things now I've showed you how to open up or create a new Finder window, but to close a Finder window you have these little icons up here. So on the PC side of things, those are usually located on the right hand side, but on the Mac they're located on the left. So I could either expand, minimize, or close using these stoplight icons. So that's a small difference if you're new to the Mac environment. Okay, next you have this action item here, this action button, and that gives you new options such as creating a new folder, getting information, or switching to different views. If you're also used to sending files back and forth a lot, then you can compress these items from here as well. Or do the same thing by right-clicking, and you'll get a lot of those same options. So the action button might come in handy though if you're trying to create a new folder. That's just one more way to do it. Okay, one thing that confuses folks coming from the PC side of things is this little toggle button here. So usually if you're coming from a PC environment and you want to close an application or close a window, you do so from the top right corner. Now if you actually click on that though, this switches you into classic view of the Finder window. So this is a problem if you don't know what you did or don't know how to get back to that view. So if you find that you're using Finder window and you don't have any of those options that I had previously, then someone before you probably clicked on that little toggle button. So just click right back on it and you'll see everything on the left hand side that you saw previously. So the scroll bars here, you should be very familiar with what a scroll bar does. So if you can't see everything on one screen, then you'll start to see scroll bars. Now the last thing I want to show or demonstrate really quickly here in the Finder window is how to resize the Finder window. So let's say that you couldn't see everything that you wanted to at one time. So then you would just grab your cursor down at the very bottom right hand side here and put it over those three little hash marks, click and hold. So while you're clicking and holding, you can essentially drag it to increase the size or decrease the size. So again, depending on what you're seeing or how much content you're seeing, scroll bars may appear there. So this was a quick introduction to the Finder or the Explorer, what it's called within Windows. And again, you'll find much more quick tips within Blackboard.